Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another meal prep video. So today I meal prepped a couple of breakfasts and a couple of lunches and just a couple of other things that I needed to complete these items. So for breakfast this week, I'm gonna have two different things. I'm gonna have some egg mug cups, so I show you how I make those. And then I'm gonna make some potato patties, which I will use kind of as a toast and add some avocado on top and then some egg on top of that, like a poached egg on top of that. So that sounds really yummy. So I'm gonna show you how I make those potato patties. So for lunches this week, I'm gonna have Salsa Verde chicken over a riced cauliflower with some broccoli on the side. And then also the other prep I made were some buffalo chicken and turkey meatballs and a Whole30 compliant coleslaw on the side. So it turned out super good and I cannot wait to have that this week. I also, as usual, made some hard-boiled eggs and I had to make some mayo for the ranch dressing that I had to use for the meatballs, and then the mayo also for the coleslaw. So I made those two things as well. And then I also doubled the meatball recipe because I want to have that for dinner later on this week. So I made some extra meatballs and put those in the freezer so they would be ready to go later on this week. As usual, down below in the description box, please check out the links to the recipes that I'm sharing with you today. And also I have links to my meal prep containers that I get questions about all the time. So thank you guys so much for joining me, and let's get into the meal prep. So I'm getting ready to assemble my egg mugs. So I'm combining 4 large eggs, 4 egg whites, and a half of a cup of unsweetened cashew milk. Normally I would use Greek yogurt for these, but since I'm on Whole30, I can't do that right now, so that is also an option. I did take some avocado oil and rubbed it on the inside of the jar, but you could also use cooking spray if you're not on Whole30. So I have some chopped spinach, some diced red bell pepper, and a chopped up chicken apple sausage. So I'm going to layer these in the bottom of each jar. Then I'm going to fill the jars about 2/3 of a way full, and because I want to allow room for the eggs to rise when I cook them. These can also be cooked in the oven at 350 degrees for about 25 minutes, or you can microwave them like I'm going to. And what I'll do is I'll cook them for about 4 minutes, but I'll stir after each minute so to make sure that the egg is completely cooked through. For the potato patties, you want to grate up about 5 cups of potato, or you can use hash brown potatoes if you're not on Whole30. It took about 5 medium potatoes for me to get this amount of grated potatoes. I also peeled them. It was easier to grate. You also want to make sure you squeeze some moisture out of them. And I also let mine lay out on a clean towel for about an hour while I was getting meal prep stuff ready. So that way they're kind of nice and dry. So now I'm placing my grated potatoes in a bowl. I'm adding in 1 egg, a 1/4 cup of almond flour, 1 tablespoon of tapioca flour, and 3 tablespoons of dried chives. I'm mixing that up really well, and while I'm mixing that up, I'm also heating up some avocado oil in a frying pan. You can also use ghee. I'm out of ghee, so I wasn't able to use that. And then you want to take a half of a cup of the potato mixture and form them into patties, and you're going to cook them about 3 to 4 minutes on each side. So I have to be honest here. I only had 3 patties that actually held up. The others did not, so I'll just have to have them as hash browns, but the flavor is so good, so I don't care. It doesn't matter how you eat them. They taste really super good. For one of my lunches this week, I'm going to have Salsa Verde chicken. You guys know this is one of my favorite things. Unfortunately, I can't have the cheese since I'm doing Whole30. I'm taking 1 large chicken breast and a half of a jar of Salsa Verde sauce and putting them into my pressure cooker. I'm going to cook these on the poultry setting for 15 minutes. Now that my chicken is done cooking, I am going to take my mixer and shred it all up. And now that the cauliflower rice is done, I'm adding in some Salsa Verde sauce to the cauliflower rice just to kind of add some more flavor to it. So I'm putting half of the rice cauliflower in the bottom of 2 different meal prep containers, and I'm adding the chicken mixture on top. And then for some added veggies, I'm adding a side of broccoli as well. For my other lunch this week, I'm going to have buffalo meatballs and coleslaw. I'm going to be making a double batch of these meatballs so I can flash freeze some for dinner later in the week. So in a bowl, I am combining 1 pound of ground chicken and 1 pound of ground turkey together, 3 green onions that have been chopped up, a half of a cup of the Frank's Red Hot sauce, 2 eggs, a half of a cup of almond flour, 4 tablespoons of Whole30 ranch dressing, and then some onion salt and salt and pepper. So I'm combining this really well, and I'm going to form them into meatballs. So I'm making 6 meatballs to flash freeze for dinner later this week, and then I'm going to cook 12 of them for lunches through the week. So I'm cooking them at 400 degrees for 20 minutes. So I'm going to pair the meatballs with some coleslaw. So in a bowl, I'm combining a bag of coleslaw mix, also some extra shredded carrots, 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, a 1/4 cup of Whole30 mayo, a 1/2 tablespoon of Dijon mustard, some onion salt, some dill weed, garlic powder, and some salt and pepper. So I'm just going to stir that up well and store it in my refrigerator until I'm ready to assemble my meal prep. So in my meal prep containers, I'm adding in 3/4 cup of the coleslaw and 4 meatballs. So lastly, I also made some mayo, some ranch dressing, and hard-boiled eggs. I will link the video where I share how to make the Whole30 mayo and ranch dressing in the description box. Also, you have smart points for all of these recipes in the description box as well. So I hope this meal prep gave you some ideas for your own meals through the week, and please make sure you subscribe if you have not already done so, and hit that little notification bell to be notified when I upload videos, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys!